All right, so I'm going to try to give you some feedback on the analysis part. So a lot of you did the following. You gave me the math, and that's all you said. You said, here's all this mathy stuff, and then you said, so you should choose all chalk. I need some context to my situation, and I'll help you with what that means in a second. So first, let's summarize our data. We've got our dot plots here. We've got our means. We said both are 90. So we've got that fixed up. We've got our MADs for all chalk. Ooh, let's go ahead and label our data here. This one right here, this was our all chalk, the lower one, and this one was chalk full. So for all chalk, it was highly variable. It had 2.8. For chalk full, it wasn't as variable. It was only 0.4. So as we start to analyze this, there's a couple things we can say. We know that the means are the same. So that's not really useful for making a comparison. So the mean might not help us decide. We also know that all chalk is more variable than chalk full because the data is more spread out and the MAD is higher. So we've got one fact, two facts. A third fact might be because it's more variable, it's harder to predict. So it's harder to predict how much chocolate is in the all chalk cookies. And that's because it's so variable. So 3 facts, pretty well reasoned out. When you give me the context of the situation, the assertion, as you think about this, don't write this down. This is what I want you to think about. With the context of the situation, I want you to tell me if high variability is good or bad. That's what you could tell me about the situation. If I don't want to have a hyper party full of little kids, does that mean high variability is good or bad? And kind of explain why. So add an explanation to that. So you don't need to write this down. You're going to use this to think about this in just a second. And so based on that, what would your assertion be? So give me your assertion. Therefore, try that again. Therefore, and then you go ahead and make your decision. What are you going to write here? So this part, you don't have to write this. I want you to use it to think about it and rewrite your context of the situation, the assertion, and then we'll all talk about it together as a class in just a second.